Hey guys, John V here from Phone Arena. Right now you're watching our video review of the Amazon Kindle Fire HDX 8.9. So this is Amazon's fuller size tablet option. So it's meant to compete against some of the 10 inchers out there in the space, namely like the Galaxy Note 10.1s and the iPad Airs out there. But with the Kindle Fire HDX 8.9, it's Amazon's take on Google's Android platform, but it mainly focuses on Amazon's ecosystem. The design is simple and sweet, and essentially it's just a larger size version of the 7-inch model that we checked out back in the fall. For the most part, it sticks to having a very generic design. That's until we look at the back. It's mostly comprised out of soft touch matte casing, keeping it clean, but there's this glossy strip along the top that really breaks things up, and it's really nice. It has these sharp angle cutouts to it. The Kindle Fire HDX 8.9 is exceptionally lightweight. We barely feel it in the hand, making it very comfortable to grasp. Its 8.9-inch HDX display is utterly amazing. It's super detailed with its resolution of 2560 by 1600 pixels, giving it a pixel density count of 339 pixels per inch. So with that, it gives even the finest of details a lot of emphasis, so there's no problems viewing even the tiniest of text with this display. It relies on LCD technology, and we gotta say it's one of the brightest displays out there. It's more than visible outdoors, even stronger than the iPad Air's brightness output. And the viewing angles are consistent too. You could see the clarity, it maintains it even at wide angles, and the color reproduction tends to be a little bit more on the warmer side. So overall, a very pleasant looking display. One of the few complaints we have about the design pertains to the physical buttons, both the volume controls and also the power button. They're recessed, kind of difficult to make out, and their placements is towards the rear, so when we're holding it, sometimes we got to fiddle around to find out where they're at. Amazon's treading new ground just because the HDX 8.9 here is the first in Amazon's portfolio to feature a rear camera. It's an 8 megapixel autofocus camera which features an LED flash and 1080p video recording, and also has a front-facing 1.2 megapixel camera. Just like its 7-inch sibling, the Kindle Fire HDX 8.9 is running the same Fire OS 3.0 experience, which is dubbed as Mojito, and it's based off of Android Jelly Bean. The nice thing about the experience is that it really centers around Amazon's ecosystem. So whether you're buying products, listening to music, watching videos, it pretty much adapts and incorporates to all the different services. But as an Android tablet, it's kind of limited. Sure, we do find some Android elements with the experience here. For example, multitasking between applications. You could access it right here with the tab on the right. And you have some of the basic or even some of the popular applications you could download. For example, Facebook, Twitter, and even Flipboard. But it's all controlled and accessed by Amazon's App Store. So basically, it doesn't have the wealth of applications that we get with a traditional Android tablet that has access to the Google Play Store. For an entry-level model, it's pretty sweet that it's packing one of the latest processors out there. It's a quad-core 2.2 GHz Qualcomm Snapdragon 800 processor coupled with a Adreno 330 GPU and 2 GB of RAM, so it's in contention with all the other high-end devices out there, and its performance is spot on. Even high-intensity stuff like 3D gaming, no problems whatsoever. It's more than equipped to handle even the most intensive stuff. The music player is pretty bland when it comes to the visual flair, but it does sync with any of the purchases you made through Amazon. And other neat things that it's able to actually display the lyrics as the song is going, so it kind of gives us this karaoke-like experience. Now the tablet's armed with 2 speakers, but they're facing the rear, so they're not really the best. On top of that, they're rather weak with their overall output. If you happen to be an Amazon Prime subscriber, you can have access to all the content with Amazon Prime Instant Video service. So basically, you'll be able to stream videos, various movies, television shows to the tablet itself. But if you have other content stored locally, like let's say an MPEG-4 video, you're going to have to rely on a third-party video player to play them. It's the first time we're seeing a rear camera with an Amazon tablet, but the camera app itself is rather limited. Very few shooting modes. In fact, the only 2 options we have here is an HDR mode and panoramic. We have the option to switch camera, switch to video, and set the flash, but that's pretty much it. There's also an HDR mode, but with that, it takes almost double the amount of time to snap a photo, so 7 seconds as opposed to 3 seconds with a non-HDR shot. Now, we're not really fans of the results just because the only thing it tends to do is just boost the contrast and add a little bit more saturation to the colors, and there isn't that much emphasis on having a consistent dynamic range throughout the shot, so it tends to have a little bit of an overexposed look sometimes. Under lower lighting situations, we do of course see a hitch with the overall quality. Its details are softer, there's more noise in the shots, and colors are more dull looking. Its 1080p video recording quality is tolerable enough to accept, but there are some nagging issues that we see. First, details tend to be a little bit on the soft side. The audio recording is rather crackly in tone, and there's this noticeable jello or wobbly effect as we're panning very quickly. It becomes more prominent the faster we're doing it. Battery life is pretty excellent with the Amazon Kindle Fire HDX 8.9. With our battery benchmark test, it's able to pull out 7 hours and 46 minutes, which is a little bit less than the iPad Air's results, but nevertheless still a great tally. For power users, that means you're going to get an all-day battery life with no worries about having to recharge. With a starting sticker price tag of $379 for the base 16GB Wi-Fi model, it's really tough beating the Amazon Kindle Fire HDX 8.9. There's a ton of value in it. When you factor in the specs and the performance, it's pretty much top-notch. As a consumptive device, it's perfect just because you're going to be able to view a lot of different content, multimedia, whether it's books, magazines, television shows, movies, and even music on the tablet itself. In contrast, though, power users will probably find the platform experience a little bit more limited than anything else, so you might want to think about some other options out there that give them more of a diversified portfolio. So if you guys want to learn more about the Amazon Kindle Fire HDX 8.9, you could check out our website, phonearena.com. It's John V. Thanks for watching.